I need another cheeseburger.
Whiskey.
Oh,
No. It's coffee. I'm a little tired, so I'm having a little cup of Joe.
Cup of
At
Joe.
9 o'clock, which is never the wisest idea in the world.
Before you got on, I was telling Alan here that I had to change all my settings because I had a family Thanksgiving Zoom conference and had to change everything to default. You know, the camera or the microphone on the webcam, everything else. Oh, it was a pain in the ass to get it set back up. I thought it was going to fuck us over. This is going to start us late. So I'm really sorry.
How are the old people in this process?
Do I mean they're? You mean like, are they technologically inept? Is that or just?
Yes, generally speaking, the older folk tend to be they tend to have issues of some sort when they try to get on to do these kind of technologically advanced meetings. I still don't understand it. Like if I FaceTime, like I'll see like I don't know if anybody's gonna see this or not, but like my mom like can you see me? Is it doing it?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have she probably didn't even know where the camera lens was on her phone previous to trying to do FaceTime until she has to stare her iris directly up into the like she's doing a retinal scan.
Yeah, these folks were all right. The thing I found was funny was my aunt and uncle, married couple of nearly 50 years, were in separate rooms on separate devices. I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's actually wise.
No, I believe so. Yeah, I'm
up.
just saying. That's why I said it was interesting. I wasn't degrading it. I wasn't insulting it. I wasn't laughing or mocking it. I said it was interesting.
What was so interesting about it? Did you not think they were capable of making such a wise decision with their technology?
No, don't put words in my mouth. Don't take things out of context. All right, buddy.
I don't know, Alan. Do you think I was painting the improper context? I mean, why would such a?
And why is Alan the arbitrator of this?
He was alluding to something, is all. You know, it sounds like it is all I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. One, it was very wise of them. Okay, a lot of talking, a lot of jammering. You don't got to jostle for position and things of that nature. And two, I don't know. They've been married for such a long time. They don't necessarily need to be in the same room to have the Zoom call with 19 other people. You know, you got your own device, you got your own setup. You can talk at your own leisure. Shut up at your own leisure.
I mean, and if I want to, maybe throw some of my own context onto there, I mean, in a way, it's kind of selfish because then you are consuming other people's screen space to create two separate Zoom call-in screens in order to have your own screen instead of just, you're sharing the same living quarters. Why not maybe share the same screen space and maybe make a little room for somebody else?
It beats me. I don't know. I guess I'll ask him. I'll email him and see what response I get.
Sounds like something to just avoid altogether, quite frankly.
A family Zoom call?
No, that doesn't sound good, family. Don't feel like doing that this year. See you next year.
Well, I had forgotten about it, and about 12 after the hour, my mom texts me, You joining? Oh, yeah. About 9 beers deep, belly full of Thanksgiving food. Yeah, I'll hop on. Only to be outdone by my brother, who was, he denied it, but he was loaded. He had been polishing off some wine for the better chunk of the evening. He's like, oh, no, I'm not drunk. Just a little disheveled. I didn't sleep well last night.
Yeah, didn't sleep well last night because he was finishing off his fourth bottle of wine the evening before.
It was all right. How was everybody else's Thanksgiving, eh?
Yeah, not too bad. Same old shit. Hanging out. Being COVID safe, I guess, or whatever it fucking is.
There were birds with COVID? Is that... Wait, what? Did I hear that right?
Yep. Sandbirds? No. Nope. Fucking ham. No sandbird for us. And, same old shit. Chilling.
Yeah, we did a little Thanksgiving here. It's just me, the wife, my kid, my parents, and then my parents did like the same thing on Sunday. And yeah, so I just got fat twice. I doubled up on the Thanksgiving fatness. So it was okay. It was.
I had three dinners. I had one here, one at my mom's on Friday, and one at Sarah's parents on Sunday. 3. Yeah, deserted every one of them.
Solid.
That's right.
Sounds like a lot of good eats.
Turkey, only one of them. You guys have now convinced me that the overratedness of the sandbird is a sight to be seen, sight to be eaten.
I mean,
I do feel like it's
gained
gained steam over the last decade or so that people just don't like the turkey anymore, and it's starting to become more commonplace for people just to throw it to the wayside. Maybe we're only 10 years away. It's almost like daylight saving time. Maybe we'll finally just wise up and do away with the thing altogether. But the thing is, there's still pageantry with those birds. I totally forgot. It's like the only positive press coverage that Trump's gotten all year long was he besides all of his friends, he also pardoned 2 turkeys that weekend.
Oh, ooh.
I was like, yeah, I think he diminished it a little bit with a couple of other pardons, but yeah, let turkeys get killed. That's what happens, and they suck. People hate them. I'm riding this till the fucking wheels fall off. Sandbirds are garbage.
Is that why they call them sandbirds? You coined that term, right?
Yeah, I just call it a sandbird because I believe that I said the bird is literally made out of sand.
Right.
But, sandbird works. It's still, whatever you want to call it, it's fucking garbage bird.
Do you think
we're standing up to fucking turkeys on Thanksgiving? I think is what we're really moving towards here at the Middle Class Holes is saying fuck turkeys. Go ham.
Do you think if this catches on, and I hope it does, do you think former Cubs second baseman Ryan Sandberg will be slightly offended?
Maybe, but probably not. I don't think. I mean, I don't know him really, but he doesn't strike me as a dry meat type of guy. So, I think it'd be okay.
I like how you had to tell us really. I don't know him really. Like, you don't know him all that well. Good. Nice.
I only had him over once or twice, but he seems like a moist poultry kind of guy, which would take him squarely away from the turkey, because as we've established, it is made of sand.
Well, so let's start to establish a new Thanksgiving tradition, the no turkey tradition. I think that should be something that we should obviously get behind. And since we're kind of on the topic of new traditions, there is a tradition over in Sweden that I have wanted to bring here probably for more than a decade now. Are you aware of the Gavel Sweden Christmas goat that they erect every year? And in fact, they're erecting it, I believe it went up just this Sunday. It is the Gavel goat. It is a 40-foot tall straw goat that they erect in the town square. And that's because over there, Santa rides a goat on Christmas Day to bring toys to the children. But the most fascinating thing about the Gavel goat is a bunch of hooligans attempt to light it on fire each and every year. And it only has a 60% survival rate since 1960.
Damn.
That sounds like fun.
I think. Are you a protector of the goat, or are you the type of guy that wants to arson that shit up? I know Alan's answer. We've talked about his fire love before. He'd get a hard on watching the goat. I was about to say the turkey. The goat just goat.
Yeah, I mean, we can light turkeys on fire too. But yeah, yeah. let's not go there. Yeah. So goat. A. What's the goat made of?
Well, it's stuffed in it's stuffed in a lamb, which is stuffed in a cow.
Ah,
yeah.
Yes, got it.
Sorry.
That's what we'll have it Thanksgiving while we erect our Christmas goat.
That old traditional. Yeah.
There are so many fascinating stories about the Gavel goat. Again, it's only a 60% survival rate, which means it 40% of the time it gets burned to the ground. Of course, the authorities in Sweden deter people from attempting to light the goat on fire. They do spray it down with the runway fire retardant that they spray on planes when they come in literally hot. And they try to get people, they try to make it so if somebody does try to burn it down, it doesn't burn. But people have gone to such lengths as taking old cars and lighting them on fire and then driving them down the street and abandoning the car so it smashes into the goat on fire to burn it down. About 5 years ago, there were 2 men that dressed up like Santa Claus and the Gingerbread Man and shot flaming arrows into it until it caught fire.
Wow.
And then, of course, the Gingerbread Man turned and screamed, "Run, run as fast as you can." You can't catch me.
Oh God,
the gingerbread man.
Wonderful.
But kudos to those guys, and I like the fact that they used arrows. They were archers. Just
God, I'm on the side of fire solely because it sounds way funner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know what else happens with this fucking. Also, let me stop. Officials really don't try that hard to not let it get lit on fire because it's fucking made out of hay. So, I mean, if officials were trying to not have it lit on fire, they'd probably make it out of something else, is what I would think. But
yeah, but it's tradition. It's a tradition. They built it. They built it out of like straw and hay for whatever stupid Swedish reason, and this thing goes up. And I don't know. I kind of feel like maybe taking some of that tradition over here, but maybe we actually do just purposefully light the goat on fire. Like Christmas Eve, there is a town square bonfire around a roasting goat, and in fact, you can watch the goat because there is that small hint that they want you to witness it burning to the ground. And I watch it. I tune in, I don't know, several times through the month of December to see if it's still standing. And if it gets burned before a certain date, they rebuild it before Christmas.
Oh, wow. Is there, are there repercussions to burning it down? Or...
Yes, okay. But it's kind of like the repercussions when people would try to climb the World Trade Centers. Like, ooh, we're gonna fine you $1 for every story, because it's such a spectacle when it does go up and it draws tourism.
I like how that's a perfect impersonation of New York City authority, right?
Yes.
It's like the state's attorney.
That's the NYPD chief right there. That's what he sounded like.
Yeah.
I feel attacked over the last couple of podcasts here, Wes. I got to be honest with you. Okay, you've gone after all of my vocal impressions that I just do instinctively. I don't do these things on purpose or to be annoying. But if they bother you so much, maybe I'll just think my whole speaking pattern that I've established over the last 41 years.
Come on, they amuse me. They amuse me. Like that little thing right there where we'll find. Yeah, let me see if I can do it. We'll find you $1 each story. Only the bottom jaw goes. It humors me. I like it. I love it. Nice. But I guess if you think that it bothers me and by bringing it up, then I won't bring it up. I'll just let it.
No, because now I'll know it's just this thing that bubbles under the surface. Like, all I do is, Wes was probably going to give me shit about that voice I'm making. Oh, I'm doing it right now. Oh, I can't stop myself. Here we are.
I don't sound like
complex.
I don't sound like that. Middle Classels, everyone. Wes, Murr, Alan. This is the post-Thanksgiving leading up to Christmas. They were playing fucking Christmas music in the office today. We're trapped in
December.
What's that?
Yeah.
It is December.
That's right, bitches.
Come on.
It's basically fucking Christmas already.
It is the Christmas season. I get it. Yes, the day after Thanksgiving is a free-for-all, but come on, give it a week. Give it a week after Thanksgiving. No?
No, it's day after. Day after Thanksgiving, because the day after Thanksgiving traditionally is Black Friday, and Black Friday you're going out to buy gifts for everyone for Christmas or the holiday season, if you will.
I better, I'm unbuckling my belt after a hearty Thanksgiving meal, and as my fat American ass hits the sofa, I better hear fucking like Last Christmas or fucking you can even give me fucking Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays by NSYNC. You can hit me with or a fucking Michael Bublé. Whew, boy, don't even get me started. Christmas has begun, sir. It doesn't even need to be December.
I get it.
I gotta say, and maybe I can get your guys' opinions on this, and I may be a little too early to bring these things up, but since we're on the subject, my favorite Christmas song is a song that folks mock very often. I even mocked it until I realized that it is the best Christmas song ever written, and that is Jose Feliciano's Feliz Navidad. That is the best fucking Christmas song in the world. Wes, your brother hates it, and I love singing it in front of him.
I think I was with my brother when we read that. It's the most. What would you consider a song that gets stuck in your head and you can't get it out, right? Or if you,
okay,
if you want to prank someone like that, like, hey, you want to get a song stuck in your head? Feliz Navidad. Then they'll cuss your name for 10 minutes afterwards.
It's catchy because it's great.
Yeah,
you just can't get the greatness out of your mind once it starts, because it's got. Okay, one, it's bilingual, so it's American. It's a melting pot song. Okay, it's got some Spanish in there. It's got some just classic Christmas kind of themes, obviously, throughout. The music's kind of it's a pop song with a rock and roll edge, with a Christmas fucking spirit, delivered by a delightful Hispanic man. It's glorious.
Yeah, and I think that you missed the biggest thing, is that it's a dual threat. Not only can I play that on December 1st, motherfucker, but I will also be playing that December 31st into the 1st, because he says Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. You know?
That motherfucker. He got 5 more days out of that bitch. 7 more days out of that.
Yep. So, yeah, like that song, it's a perfect song, quite frankly. I mean, you can't really go wrong.
Well, Murr warned us about 6 or 7 months ago about Colonel Sanders Christmas. So we could probably get a little bit of that in our lives. I don't know. I haven't listened to any of it since Murr brought it up. It's still one of my favorite bits from the show of the middle class souls. And that was when you're also doing your air trumpet too.
Well, when a family gathers around the tree, make sure you bring yourself some Western fries this year.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yes.
Amazing. Do you, I don't know, Alan, Murr, you might be able to answer this, but I'll defer to Alan about the PS5. Is that new? When did they sell that?
Yeah, it came out like a month ago.
Okay, so this could be a very wanted, sought after, hot ticket item.
It is
leading up to the 2020 Christmas. It is
it's the thing. Yeah, it's the console release of this decade.
This is this generation's Elmo.
Mm-hmm. I would say it's because it is marketed to 10. I'd say 10 plus, and when I say plus, 10 plus everyone who has ever had a video game controller in their hand in this modern era.
Okay, yeah. 10 to 99.
That's true.
I'd say 55, maybe, at the highest end.
55. Do you saying 55 plus crowd don't play video games?
Yes, I would basically stake most of my bank account on that. Yeah, if I was to bet. If I was on Family Feud and they said, at what age would you say the average man stops playing video games? And I'd be like, 55.
Yeah. So until I become 55.
Right. So you're born in 1965. I'm just trying to think, like, okay, you're probably around 19 or 20 when Nintendo first comes out.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm taking a trip down memory lane. Back to the Future, 1985.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't know. Do you think that there weren't some 19 or 20 year olds that played Nintendo, brought the original Nintendo, and aren't still playing games? I mean, is that just few and far between? Yeah, there's probably some, but you're talking about spackles of the pie chart.
I would say that, if you were in your 20s when Nintendo came out, you probably thought it was a nifty little gadget that you played with, like, your younger brother or your nieces and nephews at the holidays. You thought it was cool, but you probably didn't, like, move forward on keeping up with video game technology. I mean, there's a bunch of dorks out there that did. I'm not saying there's not a percentage of them,
right?
But I'm saying that percentage gets drastically lower. And I pulled 55 out of my asshole, and now I'm
I think
I'm on the stake defending it.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think 55 is the good litmus test. So we'll say 9 to 55.
Yeah.
Okay. So
now I've got Dolly Parton in my head. Thank you.
The 75, and she's going to pose in Playboy, supposedly. So this clown purchased a PS5 under the illusion to his wife that it was an air purifier. Okay. Apparently the gig was up when a rat died inside the couple's home, and the PS5 did little to mask the smell, exposing his cunning plan to his wife. The husband's desperate attempt to fool his wife emerged after she made him sell it for $450. The person that let the story out was this gentleman who bought it and was wondering why at this point, November 20th, it was on sale. Oh man, I mean, Alan, is this are you going to buy one? Do you own one?
I do not own one. I will get one, but like, I don't get new consoles for like probably the first like 6 to 8 months.
Okay.
That's just like rule of thumb for me. And I know like Other gamers live by this code. Other gamers do not because they just have to have it. But like I do because most of the time they fucking burn up, or like all of the manufacturer defects usually are found within that first 6 months. So I let all the stupid people with like kids and fucking just way more expendable income. No offense, but you know,
no, it makes sense. I get
it. Go and be like, yeah, I need to get this for my 8-year-old. I'll pay you $1,000 for the thing that costs $700. So yeah, that happens a lot. So we just let them run their course, and then they all fry up. And then Sony's like, oh, we made new ones. They're not broken now. You can buy them. And that's when I buy them. So probably sometime next year. But yeah, they're a big fucking deal.
Plus, you don't get all that build up to where you can't get one, and then you get anxiety, and then you get juiced up and obsessed with trying to find one. And if you wait that amount of time, it's like, I think I'll buy that PS5 now. And then, oh, there it is at Target. Yeah. With an extra controller to boot. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah,
but what I was trying to do is, go ahead, Merv.
Oh no! I'm gonna shit on his wife in just a second.
What I was trying to get was put yourself in this guy's shoes. What do you do? I mean, what do you think? How do you feel? And what are you thinking when you're feeling it?
I think you find her most prized possession that she has ogled over and longed for, and then you force her to sell it, or you just sell it for her, and then give her cash and ask her how she feels about it. And then try to move on with life with post-divorce. What I hate about this story so much is that, one, she was too naive to understand that he had bought a video gaming system because she pays so little attention to his hobbies that she was unaware that he was playing new video games that are wildly more expansive and more beautiful in their graphic technology. So she didn't pay attention to any of that shit. And then the ruse that got him found out was that it was an air purifier. And so this rat dies in their house, and it doesn't mask the smell of the dead rat. Shows me that she doesn't even understand how a fucking air purifier works. And so somehow he got caught on the false premise that the non-air purifier air purifier wasn't working because she doesn't understand how air purifiers work, but then consequently realizes that it's a PlayStation 5. And even after spending $7,000 on a gleaming rock on her left hand that was probably pulled out by some small African child for blood money, it's a problem. And she got rid of the PlayStation for him. So I just so much hate without ever meeting this human.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't need to really say anything else.
the non-air purifier. Yeah, she said, shouldn't that's not an air purifier. Do you think she even knew what it was when she discovered it's not an air purifier?
Honestly, it's kind of Sony's fault. Have you seen it?
No.
I mean, it doesn't really look like a console. It looks kind of stupid. You could probably sell that to a stupid wife as an air purifier until she figured out something that air purifiers don't do to fucking blame you for. I don't know. Go ahead.
Weren't you the one that told us that is it the Sony or the Xbox? You said they could dangle a ping pong ball over it because of the way the air shot out?
The Xbox does that. The PlayStation looks fucking preposterous. It's got like wings on. It's just dumb. Sony really fucked up with that one.
But I'm imagining that it's probably got a similar cooling technology, so it probably does blast out a certain amount of air.
Oh yeah,
where
it's cool as shit.
You could.
It's cool as shit.
I'm saying that, what's the air coming out or just the look of it?
The air coming out.
Just like the console is itself. That's what you're talking about. It's got a cooling effect, right? So it's cool. I was just saying it's dope. Cool as shit.
Yes, that's what I was going for. No, I'm saying there's probably a massive amount of air coming out of this thing to keep it cool because of how much computing it's doing. And so you could probably be like, oh yeah, it's an air purifier because it's got actual wind leaving it. And
hold on.
You got it? Yeah.
Let's see this thing.
Yeah. All right. So that's it. Like it's got wings. It's weird shaped. I don't know why. I don't know why they made it that way. I don't know what happened. But yeah, that's what it looks like.
So I think what you do with the controller is you tell her that's a roaming vacuum cleaner. You just put it in different spots around the house. So it powers itself off when people are around. It only turns on when you're out of the house.
But you just tell her you use it to capture very specific particles in the air, like dead rats, like dead rat scents.
Oh God! Here's what I thought when I read this, and Murr, you kind of alluded to it when you had said find her most valuable possession and sell it. I don't listen. Relationships are compromise. Okay, sometimes you have to give up shit that you don't like to make the other person happy. I get it, but at the same time, I'm not a big gamer. I'm not. I haven't. We've talked about this. The last gaming console I owned was Sega Dreamcast, Sega Dreamcast, long time ago. All right, but I don't shit on it. It seems fun. I especially some of the times I played Call of Duty. That shit's a lot of fun. It's a great time when you're online, fucking blasting other people hours at a time. Here's the thing. If I wanted to buy something like that and my significant other was like, no, it's going to leak into our relationship. It's going to affect your parenting, blah, 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 blah. I'd be like, listen, I'm buying the fucking thing. I'm buying it. I'm bringing it into the household. I'm hooking it up to a television. Doesn't have to be the television, but a television. I'm powering it up from time to time, and I'm fucking playing it. Sorry. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. I didn't suspect I'd get any, defense from either one of you guys or any of you defending the other people, but yeah.
No, I could just make the argument that, okay, fine, then I'll just start spending more time down at the bar or hanging out outside of the house. At least you know where I am and what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So, kiss off. I'm going a lot of money, and
I'm going to the neighbors. He has it.
Exactly. So if you want to spend time with me, we will be online together, yelling at 10-year-olds who are cheating and killing me at the spawn site.
Oh, God, I got caught. Air purifier. Dumb bastard. And then so I had to sell it for $450. Is that under market value right now?
Yes.
Yeah, I really like
very, very much so.
Ooh.
I think the version is like $600.
Oh, wow. I think maybe. I think he just simply sold it at whatever he bought it at, and which would, put up the red flag for most people who are looking to buy it online. I think most people who are looking to buy it online right now are expecting to get gouged in some way.
Oh yeah, I see them on Facebook all the time. People are like, "Hey, I got this fresh crack rock, got this fresh crack PlayStation. It's fucking $1,200." It's like, God damn, you motherfuckers! Yeah, the cheapest one is. All right, the cheapest one is $399, $400. So that's not terrible. That's wrong. But
the worst part about this phenomenon is the stupidity of people that use the internet that are so wound up in this thing. Because I've seen several people spend $1,000 to buy a box, an empty box, and the seller even puts on eBay, "This is an empty box of the brand new PlayStation 5." And people are just like, the PlayStation 5 brand new. Yes, do it. Bid. And they ain't getting their money back. And they're going to get themselves a nice, freshly creased box of nothing and sadness and tears.
It's an air purifier. That isn't even an air purifier or a PlayStation 5. Isn't it nifty? Look at that thing. $450 box. All right.
Yeah, buddy.
Something I wanted to circle back on. And I know this made your guys' little... the cockles in your heart that are bleeding Christmas music. This made your peepees stiff a little bit. All right, this monolith. All right, the thing we talked about last podcast. All right, this is mysterious metal-like thing that it's a triangular. Is it a square? Anyway, so it was found in Utah. Now it's been found in Romania. The same day one was reported missing in Utah. I saw there was one in California just a week ago after the one in Utah. It's been taken down. I guess this kind of reiterates the fact. Now, what I do want to say before I turn the mic over to you two, because you're going to tell me it's aliens. Let's see here. Oh, there was before I share my screen, it's confirmed. This guy said that. Darn it. Yes. Confirms that the monolith was moved by humans. Have you guys seen that?
I did see something.
Yeah. It baffles officials and adventures when it appears and swiftly disappears in remote Utah deserts. Was removed by 4 men, not aliens, as many around the world might have hoped. A group of friends who were photographing the monolith captured the removal last Friday night and shared the images on Instagram. As the men walked off with the pieces, one of them said, "Leave no trace." I'm going to assume that this here is the work of the conspirators or the government who doesn't want to know that aliens are here in order to cover up what happened in Utah.
How dare you? You know, I have a critical thinker as well, and everybody knows that the reason the one got placed in Romania the same day that the one in Utah was removed is because the aliens were angry with the humans that took down their sacred monolith inside of Utah. So yes, human beings definitely removed the Utah monolith, but we still don't know who erected or what erected the new monolith now residing in Romania. Because I gotta tell you, man, that's a pretty quick build. That's a pretty quick fabrication and installation to have it go up like the instant it's removed in Utah. Now, the one in Utah is just a bunch of granola assholes who don't want people, you know, hey man, you're stalking my spot, man, because like, apparently like there were 70 cars full of people waiting to make the trek down to see the monolith. And so rather than have people that never ventured out into nature before to bask in its almighty glory, they wanted to remove it because it's not supposed to be here, man. Leave nothing behind, man. So fuck those guys in Utah. Gave people an excuse to go out and enjoy the great outdoors.
Yeah, even photographer douche who I guess saw people take it down, like even fucking self-deprecated on himself at the end of his own article. He was like, I'm a piece of shit because I was one of those people that went out and hurt Mother Earth because of the monolith. Like, fucking hate hippies. But anyway, like fucking Mur said, yes, humans took down the thing. Yeah. Well, yes, Wes, humans have the capability to destroy metal.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that prior to this, but we can, and somebody did. Now, is that the equivalent of us flying that helicopter with lights on it on Independence Day up to the fucking alien ship and then getting zapped? Possibly. Did we just possibly piss them off? Maybe. Maybe we should stop touching metal monoliths that appear in the fucking ground. We don't know if it's aliens or not, but I know one thing is that if it is aliens, they're not going to like humans fucking with their shit. Even if
Agreed.
It is in fucking some remote, beautiful canyon that shouldn't be touched by fucking man-made objects. Fuck them.
This has a very similar feeling to crop circles. Now, if you guys recall, crop circles were supposed to be the work of aliens. These very intricate, very well-crafted, designed crop circles. Like, look, oh my God, it's aliens. And then a couple dozen guys came out and said, yeah, that's us. We're doing this. And he said, no, those are people lying. Aliens still did this.
Obviously, you don't know your history of crop circles because there were.
I know my history of crop dusting. Crop circles, little shaky, but go ahead.
There were apparently crop circles that were unexplained, and then there were scientists that were doing research on the crop circles. And as people started to find out that these scientists were doing research on crop circles, these two jackwagons that you're speaking of then went out and started making very intricate crop circles to throw them off and to be dicks about it. And so no one ever really figured out where the original crop circles came from, but then they found out that there were copycat crop circle makers out there. Probably, like, I'll admit, the Romanian monolith is probably a copycat thing, but there was like this initial phenomenon that was then recreated and then laughed at and mocked by gentlemen such as yourself moving forward through history, which then in turn stops real scientists from investigating unexplained phenomenon, much like the Bigfoot phenomenon that we've talked about in the recent past.
Oh, so crop circles originally were made by aliens. You're still holding out on that one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, fair enough. That's fine.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say yes.
And
I'm gonna say there are craft that land in fields and make circles, and we can't explain it because we haven't explained the UFOs yet.
Gotcha. And the big circles lead to a smaller circle with a little hallway. All crafts are like that, right? They have a little little walk pad that Bobcat Goldthwait gets from pod 1 to pod 2.
It's entirely possible. Let me ask you a question, Wesley. Okay. Do you know the engineering specs of fucking interstellar fucking vehicles?
Here we go. The burden of proof is back in my court to explain something that's unexplainable. Gotcha.
Why is it in our court, sir?
We're the dicks because you just mocked us for a good 45 seconds straight without taking a breath. Okay, I got you. All right, understood.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mur, you did post a good story today where the UFO has now briefed. Hold on. Do you have it?
Yeah, I can find it.
I do, but it's littered with ads now. Okay, on Wednesday, the debrief's Tim McMillan gave us the most detailed look yet at the Pentagon's ongoing research of unidentified flying objects, UFOs, or what the government refers to as unidentified aerial phenomenon. Publicly announced earlier this year, then we went over that. Then he says, hold on. I can confirm the accuracy of McMillan's story, the previously unreported Navy UFO encounter in late 2019, and his description of task force intelligence reports from 2018 to 2020. And the government has been unable to positively identify the UFOs recorded on video by naval aviators in 2004 and 2015. Now they have them. I see this. Yeah, this looks like it's an F-15 video. What's the significance of this?
The significance of that is that if there was another governmental agency outside of the United States that had that kind of technology, they would probably be dangling it in front of our faces saying, ha, 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 mutually assured destruction my ass, come get some. And they're not doing that. We don't have it, and it's not ours, so we're trying to figure out what the fuck it is. And because we don't know what it is, we have to explain it as UFOs. And we're finally admitting that there are craft that we can't explain, their propulsion systems. They don't seem to be human-made, so what are they? And maybe they sometimes land in the high hills of Scotland and make circular patterns when their engines fire up and turn off.
Well, they also drop these very metallic-looking 2x4s, or even larger. Actually, they're about usually 3 to 4 feet tall, and something like that size in circumference, right? In remote areas, monoliths, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's entirely possible. What? I don't understand your question, Wesley. I feel like you expect so little from the unknown that you ask these wild questions. You know what I mean? Yeah, this could be what this could be tracking beacons. They could have just that could be the equivalent of them fucking getting rid of all of their fucking bathroom excrement, and that just comes out as a giant fucking metal triangle. You don't know. We have no idea.
Listen, if we're going to discover that that's what this is, and aliens have made contact with us, and that's their 3-foot metallic-looking poop that manages to solidify and land in the ground upright and stay thus, I'm all about that. I think that's great.
Maybe it's their Wi-Fi and we're fucking with it, and the last thing you want to do is fuck with alien Wi-Fi because they can't communicate. You want to see an old man come down the stairs because the internet doesn't work? An old man with a ray gun and fucking nuclear physics technology that can't be explained? Yeah, piss that guy off. See what happens.
Oh, God.
And the aliens refer to it as alien Wi-Fi, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Yeah, it's human Wi-Fi, and to us it's just Wi-Fi. Aliens, they say, hey, it's alien Wi-Fi, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
We finally agree on something.
They're different frequencies.
We aren't doctors, but we'd love to take a look at some more of the middle class holes.
Well, look, bottom line is with Elliot Page, I saw the literal news alert. I have several news apps on my phone. I've got Fox News, CNN, and then of course you got the Apple News app and all this. And it was like fucking news alerts coming across. Like Elliot Page has come out. Elliot Page, star of the Umbrella Academy, whatever the fucking wording was. And I was like, Elliot Page? I don't know anything about Elliot Page on the Umbrella Academy. And then finally I'm like, they don't mean, is that a typo? Do they mean Ellen Page? And then I was like, let me go to IMDb right now. And then if they haven't changed it yet, then I am totally going to troll them on Twitter and accuse them of dead naming. But they had changed it. I guess they got a quick memo before the whole thing came out, and they had changed it. And I don't know how. I don't care, but I'm supposed to feel a way, but I don't know how I'm supposed to feel.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. I had a buddy message me, and he was like, "Hey, did you see that thing?" And I was like, "Oh, so we didn't already know that? Okay, well, that's fine." Like, for this particular person, it doesn't feel like, I'm not trying to, I guess, minimize this major life decision or something or announcement, but yeah, if. It was a lot more. It was a lot different when Bruce Jenner was like, "I'm Caitlyn now." I was like, "Okay, that seems like an announcement, right? Like that seems like a big deal. That seems like a reasonable change." I don't know if any of you've seen any of Elliot Page's work prior to Elliot. Look, it wasn't far off, man. That's all I'm saying. So, I mean. Thank you, and I'm glad. Own it, brother. You know what I mean? Do your thing. But I think we knew. I mean, I seen Juno. Yeah, I know. I know what happened. So
there's a difference between being kind of like quote unquote tomboyish and then being a boy. Like those are two different things. What I am confused by. Man, there's a lot of confusion. And I'm also frustrated because sometimes I don't feel like I should articulate all the thoughts in my head because people are going to accuse me of being a certain way, when in reality, I only want clarity so I can be more sensitive sort of moving forward, if that makes sense. But I have to be crude in order to round my edges off on what my opinions are supposed to be or not supposed to be. Because as G.I. Joe taught me, knowing is half the battle. And the other half is violence, of course. But we're going to put the violence to the side and try to understand this thing. So it's not a different person. So they've changed their name. Why did they change their name? Like, and I'm not meaning to say it, but can't that person still be who they want to be without changing the weird mouth sounds that we've referred to them by all this time? Couldn't Elliot stay Ellen and still just be who they are without a official name change? And then, I mean, does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah. No, I understand.
Yeah, I get it. But I also, I guess their aspect of it of like, if you feel a certain way, like if you feel as though you are Elliot, you know what I mean? They're being called Ellen. I get like, it would be like, if I called you Andrea, you know what I mean? Mur instead of Andrew. You know what I mean? Or, well, I mean, I call you Mur. But what if I called you Maria? How about that? Ooh. But
I think it has to do with the change. Yeah,
I think it's just
that was that's who I was. This is who I am now.
Yeah, because like, I mean, just even thinking about now, because you know who she or he was, that you are like, yeah, Elliot's weird. Like, you even had to think about that. Like, I saw the alert and I was like, Elliot fucking Page. I was like, oh, is that what she's going with? Cool, that makes sense.
But the reference was Elliot Page, star of the Umbrella Academy. And pardon my ignorance here, but Elliot Page was not a star of the Umbrella Academy. The artist formerly known as Ellen Page was the star of the Umbrella Academy, and whomever this is moving forward is now Elliot Page. So technically, Elliot hasn't starred in anything yet, or Elliot always starred in things and doesn't need to be referred to in a different name, because if the zeitgeist phrasing is like, I'm finally living my truth. So you were always this, and now you're just enlightening the rest of us? So if you were always this, why do you have to cease being that now? And now you're something else. I don't know. It just seems as though the only people who are going to care negatively are the ones they're making this announcement to. Because folks like myself just don't care, but are now confused and will be ostracized for having an opinion on the subject.
Right. Unless you're sensitive, that means you're a bigot.
Well, I mean, I don't think our opinions are like, bigoted in any real way. We're just also trying to like understand it as people who don't understand it, which I think is a good thing. I think that's what they want.
I tried reading the article that we sent each other, And the pronouns are now he and they. And in the story, they continuously refer to Elliot as they and not him. And so I'm like, right. Who are all these people they're referring to? Because this is not a man. And by the way, they are referring to themselves. They are referring to themselves as he. And yet they're also referring to themselves and as non-binary, which means they are neither man nor woman. And yet have now given a traditionally masculine name to replace the former traditionally feminine name to a non-conforming gender structure.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'd have a better chance of naming you the periodic table than explaining what the fuck you just said. But I kind of get it. But I lost you a long time ago, but I still listened because it made sense.
And for that, I thank you.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm with you, man. This one's like I said, I'm not trying to, be you. Live your truth, I guess, or whatever the fuck y'all say. But I don't get it. It's tough. It's a little tough. I need like a chart. Is there some kind of a chart?
Dude, the chart is unfollowable. It's one of those flow charts that brings you back to what the fuck with every fucking arrow.
I need like a
good
some kind of diet. I need a TED Talk. Can someone do a TED Talk? I just want to use them right, really, and
sure.
I just like I'm not gonna lie, but natural inclination is not to call you a plural pronoun. So if you want to be a plural pronoun, I just want to know. I just need to know how that works.
This is like the round table of this TED Talk where they introduce yourselves. Like, hi, I'm Alan. I really don't give a fuck. I just don't want to be politically incorrect. So you just tell me what to say. Thanks.
Yeah. Just explain they for me and their. And are they and they're the same thing? I think they're different. I don't know. I don't really know. But yeah, just trying not to insult any person.
At this point, I just really feel like these people should just come out and be like, "Hey, I'm just different," and just leave it at that. I'm not like you, but I'm gonna act and do stuff. All right. And the only way I had an inclination that this might be coming is, have you guys watched The Umbrella Academy at all?
Yeah.
Now, the second season, and look, I kind of had like a celebrity-ish kind of crush on the artist formerly known as Ellen Page. I just that weird, like kind of tomboyish thing, like in like X-Men Days of Future Past. I felt like he was at her peak femininity, and I was like, that's a good-looking human right there. I enjoyed that. And then the that dry wit humor from Juno, there was an attractive quality there. But then in the season 2 of Umbrella Academy, I'm like, man, I think that person is younger than me, yet looks like they've aged about 10 years in the last 5. And considering the news that has now come out, there's probably some changes afoot.
What are you saying? Men age faster? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'm saying people who have had... I am walking the razor's edge on this whole thing. People who have had estrogen coursing through their veins for their entire lives, suddenly jamming testosterone in them, tend to look different very drastically.
Oh,
yes.
Do we know that happened, or are we just presuming? I mean, I'm just curious. I don't know. I'm just asking.
The article I read, she was identifying asexual. But I don't know. Maybe Murr, tell the story about how the station manager had an all hands meeting to make a major announcement down in either Slower Lower or something or other. First of all, you're living in
man, and I'm still friend.
Go ahead. Now, if you don't want to tell it, don't tell it.
No, I'll tell it because I don't think this person would necessarily care, because I actually respected this person so much more for their genuine reaction to what was occurring here. And I'm still friends with them on Facebook. We're actually a part of a very exclusive private group on Facebook with selected members. It's a group called People That Gump. We are all massive fans of the Tom Hanks film Forrest Gump. Yes.
I just want to say, I want to preface this with, it's not the news that was funny. It's the fact that you had to drive to like 2.5 hours each way on your day off for a mandatory meeting for this.
So, okay, if anybody hasn't heard yet, I worked at a radio station for a long time. I was in radio for almost 15 years. And anyway, the radio station we were at, this is right around the time that lots of sensitivity trainings for the LGBT community had come about. It was a very sensitive topic. Anyway, we got called down for what was called a production meeting, and productions where you produce commercials or any kind of sounds that are not music that go out on the radio. And this person happened to be in charge of production, and it was like, I don't want to say their name. So-and-so is, we're going to talk about production in the summertime, busy season's coming up. We need to get something. So everybody that is employed for this 5 radio station cluster is crammed into a hot, sweaty room with no air conditioning in the summer after, having driven 2 hours one way to come to this meeting. And we get in there, and it starts out with nothing about production, but so-and-so is, we'll say, Samantha is now going by Samuel, and everyone here is going to respect that. And you look over at Samantha, now Samuel, and just hand to the face, the deepest fucking cutting eye roll you've ever seen in your life. Samuel did not want to, was okay with everybody knowing that this was occurring, but not in such an official, you're fine with this or fuck you kind of way. And I just remember everybody at the end of the meeting was just like, we fucking came in here for that bullshit. Nobody cared. Nobody cared because nobody was having sex with Samantha or Samuel. It did not matter to us. Samuel put together some very fine commercial audio, and that's all we gave a shit about because that's all we were there to give a shit about. And so it told me in that moment that a lot more is being made of this than should be probably.
He's like the vibe in the room was like, man, you could have just sent out an email. You could have just told us individually when it wasn't our day off, when we were in the fucking station.
That's one of those things like HR gets involved and just gets too like, you kind of got to read your staff. You know what I mean? Like, was everybody 60 plus? All right, probably bring them in for that meeting. That's probably something you want to talk about in person.
Hey, y'all don't play video games. Come on in, let's do this.
Yeah, but like, what are you in your 30s at that point when you're doing this or something? You know what I mean? Like
right at
and most of the staff probably roughly
we're 20s.
Yeah, exactly. So that's an email. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, nobody smashing Samantha or Samuel Samantha. Cool. Nobody gives a fuck. Thanks for wasting our time.
But I will always respect Samuel's reaction to Samuel finding out that that's what the meeting was about at the same time as the rest of us and being like, oh, fucking bullshit. I had to get up. I had to stay at work late for this horse shit. God, man. No, the thing about radio is people in radio are, and I mean this in the most loving way possible, people in radio are weird. And so no amount of weirdness is shocking. No amount of anything out of the ordinary about someone's personality is shocking in the entertainment industry. So yes, an email, a text message, a gentle nudge of the elbow. Hey, we're calling Samantha Samuel now. Okay, cool.
Hey Andrew, can I see you in the office? Oh, God.
Yeah.
God, what is it? Like, listen, I just want to let you know that Samantha is going to be going by Samuel now. Like, oh, God. So I'm still employed here? All right, cool, thanks.
Yeah,
that's how that goes.
100%. You were no more friends with or less friends with Samantha Samanuel. Samanuel, that's what we'll call them. Samanuel. You were no more friends or not friends with after that meeting.
Yeah, it makes no difference.
Speaking of ladies, we had our first female compete in a Power 5 conference. Collegiate sport, or collegiate football, not collegiate sport, collegiate football. A member of the ladies Vanderbilt soccer team, I believe, had previously, a week or two ago, had won the SEC championship. Maybe more. I could be wrong on that. Sarah Fuller performed the second half kickoff just after halftime. We had chatted about this a little bit. Then was it Murr or Allen? Which one of you guys posted the woman from Lake Tahoe or Tahoe City who free climbed a portion of El Cap?
That to you.
Yeah, man, that was wild. I read that. What's her name? Emily Harrington. So she's like one of 4 people to free climb a major section of El Cap. Alan, was it you that was all about Free Solo, that movie?
Yeah, that shit's wild.
Yeah.
So,
and there is a difference. She's not free soloing. There's a rope that only helps you with falling. Doesn't help you actually do any type of incline.
Free soloing is where you climb. It's just you and the wall, maybe a bag of chalk.
Yes.
Now, free climbing is you are climbing, just your hands and your feet and a bag of chalk, but you're also placing just like safety things along the way. So if you do fall, then you don't become a red mist on the rocks below.
If you
but
fall, you dangle there, fucking 10,000 feet above the earth.
Yes,
Somebody comes get you.
Yeah. And she's one of 4 women to have free climbed this particular section, the hardest section of El Capitan. And it's the first woman to do it in 24 hours. Because apparently it can take up to like a week. Like you have to like sleep on the side of the fucking rock face if you want to climb it normally, unless you're a superhuman like this woman. And the reason I sent this to you on the heels of the Sarah Fuller Vanderbilt kicker story is because the Vanderbilt kicker chick, she kicked the 30-yard squib kick for a losing football team and has been hailed like the hero of femininity. And then you've got this woman who climbed one of the most treacherous, hardest rock climbs in the world, and it gets buried.
Yeah.
And I would say that this woman is a greater champion of female athleticism than somebody who, and I gotta be honest, poorly kicked the football on a subpar football team. And I just don't know why we're doing this. Why can't we? I don't want to get serious, but here we are. Why can't we champion people like this? And then I'm on board.
Here's our opportunity because we're a major we're news, and we've talked about this before. Well, first of all, it's because it's rock climbing and Division I football. I mean, that it's something that makes millions and millions of dollars, and something that doesn't. But here's a picture of her. I'm screen sharing here. You know what I see when I see this? Someone that could kick my ass. All right. I could literally be bent into a position where I'd have to lick my own asshole if I cross paths here with Emily Harrington. And congratulations to her. She'd gone on and on about her conquering of El Cap. Apparently the kicker was it Sarah Fuller. She's got a lot more skill than that. They asked her to do that squib kick. They were trying to pin them down in a particular area of the field. They weren't trying to like do the touch. They weren't going for a touchback. That being said, yeah, I agree. The magnitude of this, free climbing El Cap, was it? Did I get that right?
Yeah. Free climbing El Cap as the 4th woman of all time to do it. A single portion of it, doing it within 24 hours, amazing, absolutely incredible. You give me all the safety shit in the world. Give me 1 million monoliths down at the base of El Cap. I don't know if I'm doing it. I don't know. Yeah, it's just for me. It just seems like the whomever is pushing the agenda is trying way too hard to say that like women have the ability to be equal to men because they can play men's sports too. And look, sure, maybe you can kick a football. A female athlete is never going to excel in the professional ranks of, say, a football. Maybe one day a woman comes along that can play golf better than the men, or maybe even a better basketball player than a lot of the men. But rock climbing seems to be one of those sports that's on equal footing because of the mentality it takes and the physicality it takes. I cannot do that. Okay. I feel like I could probably, now this is pushing it as a 41-year-old man who's probably lost 30% of his athleticism, but I could have kicked that kick for Vanderbilt. and no one would have hoisted me on their shoulders across every social platform across America. And I guess that's the point, is that if I had free climbed El Capitan in 24 hours, you might have heard about it and it might have been on the back page. But even as a guy, you know what I'm saying here is that what the girl at Vanderbilt did wasn't that great in comparison. But the only reason that they champion it is because it was in a man's world that she was trying to bleed her way into.
Now, okay, so let's just say next week she boots a 45-yard field goal. Do you sing a different tune?
Slightly different, yes. Okay. Slightly more positive, yeah, but still not as positive. I'd still hold the same line, but I would definitely give her a three smack golf clap.
Okay. Or if she goes like 18 of 20 in field goals for the remainder of the season. Although they only have a couple games left. That's a lot of field goal attempts.
Okay, but then I would say that she is a rock-solid college football kicker that would still not make the NFL.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand that. You know, like they had Chris Tucker. Who the hell's the Ravens kicker? Justin Tucker was booting him with Carly Lloyd, and she the USA.
What are you talking about, man?
Chris Tucker was kicking 50-yard field goals with Carly Lloyd, showing her how to do it. She was blasting him. She was absolutely knocking the shit out of him. Now she's a world-class soccer player. I don't doubt that she could, not saying accurately, but the strength to boot a 50-yarder. She was doing it repeatedly.
I honestly, like, Division I soccer player, I think she can boot a ball pretty far, you know, or a decent distance. I think more than anything, what I noticed is like how the pads appeared to really like hamper her. Like even on just that one kick, like I don't know, she did not look as explosive as a normal male kicker. Maybe it was just because she was squibbing it. Maybe that's it. But like, it did legitimately look like the pads were too big for her. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. Maybe that's part of it.
And that could be comfortability with not being used to wearing pads. I'll give her. I'm not a complete asshole. I'll give her a pass on that. I can kick a 30-yard field goal, but I've never done it in pads. So. Would that lessen my ability? Probably, because I'm not used to trying to lug that shit around on my shoulders. It throws your weight off, your leg swing, all that stuff. So I give her a pass on that. I just feel like right now, any female athletics are only an accomplishment if they work their way into the quote unquote man's world, where there's plenty of other women out there that should be championed as athletes in their own right. But because it's not a man's world, then it just doesn't count. And that's not fair. That's not fair to women who are superior athletes.
Gotcha. Yeah. She could probably that rock climber could probably do single digit pull-ups, shit of that nature.
She definitely can.
I heard a podcast with her, and she travels with a finger hanging board. So she kind of like those pull-up bars that you put in the doorway.
Yeah.
She takes them to hotel rooms, and she does practices one finger holds.
Oh my god!
Have you ever? Neither of you ever watched Free Solo?
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah, he has it above his little side door.
He has it in his van, and literally, he doesn't even extend hold. He's Indian style, holding himself with his finger, his fingertips. It's insane.
Excuse me, sir. That's pretzel style now.
Oh yeah, sorry. Crisscross applesauce, Native American style.
Did you say Chris Tucker applesauce? That shit's delicious.
Yeah, man. This shit's uncomfortable. Crisscross applesauce, man.
Whoa. All right. Before we get to 3 and Out, we had thrown this up on the Facebook page. That's the 410. Sorry, guys. That is the... boy. So I've had a couple Chardonnays.
Those guys.
I've had a couple Chardonnays.
You just dead named us, Wesley.
That set us back 6 months.
Just called us Ellen.
There was up on the middle class holes Facebook page. Apparently, there is a grow your own human steaks meal kit that is not technically cannibalism. Makers say. I'm going to hit the highlights on this. We had posted this on the Facebook page. A DIY meal kit for growing steaks made from human cells was recently nominated for Design of the Year by London-based Design Museum. Wow, that's a killer name. Named the Our burrow steak, after the circular symbol of a snake eating itself tail first, the hypothetical kit would come with everyone who needs to use their own cells to grow miniature human meat steaks. People think of eating them oneself as cannibalism, which technically it is not. Grace Knight, one of the designers, told Zine magazine, "You can't buy these." That leads me to believe that there's a few organizations that still needs to properly vet this, but I still don't get it. What do you, like, swab your mouth and throw it in a petri dish and then grow a fucking fillet? Yeah.
Yep.
That's
probably the way it works.
Wow. Really? If, let's just say, okay, this happens, it's approved, you can buy them at a reasonably discounted rate. Do you get them?
There's an old comedian's joke that's like, I don't want to try human meat because what if I like it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I do. I don't know. Maybe. Okay. All right. Maybe like Jeffrey Dahmer doesn't exist if he just gets to try it. Maybe he was just like, I wonder what a nice fleshy piece of ass steak tastes like. But he didn't have the grow your own meat petri dish. And so if he did, he could be like, shit's kind of salty. Never mind. And then you just saved the lives of 40 wayward hobos that did not get dissolved in a vat of acid in his living room. So I'd like to try it. Yes. Curiosity's got me, man. And plus, it's me. It's not like I'm eating you. I'm eating me. I would know what I taste like. So yeah, out of pure curiosity, I feel like I'd want to at least try it once in my life.
Yeah. So, I mean, you absolutely have to. I don't see why you wouldn't, quite frankly. Like, it seems like a fucking no-brainer to me. But I think more importantly, we've glossed over the most important fact here is that pre fucking dissemination of COVID vaccine, we already have the cure for the zombie apocalypse. We just grow fucking human meat steaks, and then we throw them to the zombies if we need to.
Fucking A, Alan.
Really, we're at the pinnacle of humanity, and we're only going down from here.
So you're saying that lab-grown human steak meat is the cure for zombie apocalypse because we can then quell their thirst for human flesh.
Correct. Yeah.
God
and then I would think either just eliminate them altogether or fall into using zombies as slaves and then society crumbles anyway. But for a time being, we pause the madness that is zombie apocalypse by just hugging them human steaks.
Or perhaps a cult of some sort in the Russian Yukon.
Ooh.
I could see that. With zombies?
Yeah.
Sure.
Like, do we have, like, just zombie corrals? Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you could have a whole, like, separate... You could have two societies, much like the Wakanda in Black Panther, where, like, there's some that live by the traditional values in the highlands, and then the others that live by the technological values in the lowlands. And the technological folks just help create the meat to provide to the working class of the highlands. I like this cult idea with the human lab-grown meat. Are you going to try some, Wes, if we can get our hands on a petri dish?
I have no problems with it. I have no problems with growing that. Listen, I've eaten... I mean, you figure the shit that I've put in my body... It's not like exotic stuff, but scrapple and sausage and snail, escargot, oysters, things of that nature. No, I mean some sort of odd. It was a shot in the dark that I said I rub a cotton swab in my mouth and have a petri dish grow a New York strip, and you guys are like, oh, yep, that's it. That's how it happens. Like if a New York strip appears in a petri dish, I'm assuming something that's 3 times the size of a normal petri dish that can house a New York strip. If that's what grows just based on cotton swabbing, hell yeah. I'll cook that fucker up with butter and rosemary and garlic. And I'll enjoy it.
I think if you guys do it, it's a Perryville strip, which I think is significantly less fancy. But yeah,
you son of a bitch.
Meat, right? Meat's meat. So...
Perryville strip.
We gotta cook that with backyard wild onion and Crisco.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like that delicacy, that A5 Perryville strip.
USDA kind of certified.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, like, it does show you how far we've kind of like progressed from a biotech standpoint, that, you know, this company could be throwing their hat in the ring to help solve the global pandemic, but instead they're trying to find a novelty way for you to be able to eat yourself. So, you know, when you've got throwaway technology this advanced, I'd say civilization is just doing pretty darn well for itself.
I have read that once we get to a point where we are at about, and we, not any certain, just human race, not them or they or anybody else, but we, once we get to about 13 billion, it's going to be very difficult to feed everyone without some sort of alternative measures. I've heard insects. So here's my point. If insects are going to be the new protein, you have a pile of insects and then a fillet that comes from your DNA. What are you eating?
I'm eating the insects.
Oh, bullshit! Really,
dude? I've had mealworms. They're pretty good. They're like I don't know, they're like gritty Fritos.
Yeah,
gritty Fritos.
Now, I'm not a big insect guy, so I'd probably go with human meat. Faux human meat.
No, it's not faux. That's the thing. It's actual
tofu.
Foeman meat. No, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think I would have to go with it because I just don't like insects. Just
why can't we cotton swab fucking chickens and cows and grow the same thing? Why can't we do that?
Because we already have those. We just kill them. Nobody. See, the problem is nobody. It's frowned upon to kill humans, and presumably, presumably our meat's delicious. I don't know this for a fact, but presumably our meat's delicious because we don't want to kill each other for food, so we have other animals that we do that for. But science has brought us to a place, like Burr said, where we can find out what we taste like, and then decide from there, and then ultimately stop zombies. That's really
the problem with this, Wes, is that I think after 3 months, I think you only have like a single bite. So it takes a long time for this shit to get where it's like a viable meal.
Okay.
Yeah. So like if you put your little cell in the petri dish, like in 3 months, you're gonna have like a forkful. So like 6 months to grow a full steak.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't have that kind of patience. I'll just go down to the butcher, get myself a fucking porterhouse.
That's not how it happens when there's 13 billion people on Earth.
I'm hoping to be dead before we get to 13 billion. What are we at? 7.5 billion?
I think something like that. I think we may have broken 8 by now.
Okay,
damn Chinese.
It was 3. It was 3 when I was in elementary school. So. To do the
no
math.
Way.
Maybe
globally, it was only 3 billion when you were in elementary school.
Yeah, kindergarten. It was like 4. It was 4 when I was in like 2nd or 3rd grade. So maybe 3, like pre-elementary. 4. It's okay. I mean, think about that. We've gotten almost 50%. I need another 50%. And I'm gonna get to age where I'm not playing.
When did you say?
What's that?
When did you say? How? Like when you were how old?
92-ish.
Yeah, I mean 92. There was 5.4 billion.
5. They lied to me. These fucking people, my elementary school teachers were lying to me.
No, it's just our Cecil County fucking school books that were 30 years behind.
They were eating those Perryville strips.
Yeah, and we're at 7.8 right now.
7.8. God. All right. If it gets close to 13, and you guys see me face down in the lake somewhere, don't worry.
Now, if it gets close to 13, we're piling up all of our human steaks and hopping on a SpaceX missile to fucking Mars, bitches. Just need you to know that.
We'll show Elon the podcast. Like, look, we believed you. We talked about you.
We'll be like, look, Timothy Oliphant's here. He's definitely going to fucking ruin it for everyone. Take heed.
Take heed.
And by the way, if I find you face down in a stream, it's going to be some delicious Perryville strips for all.
Yeah, Perryville strips.
It's Dewey ain't invited. All right. I think it's time for everyone's favorite segment.
That's right, Wesley. It's officially time for this week's 3 and Out. And of course, 3 and Out is being brought to you by the Shin Splints Recovery Group. You can find them on Facebook, especially if you're a runner, a jogger, a walker, a general person who moves and has leg pain below the knee and above the ankle. If you're looking for a recovery group that is catered just for you, find the Shin Splints Recovery Group right now on Facebook. All right, question number 1. Alan, we will start with you tonight. In honor of the recent event that took place, I believe, on Saturday night, Alan, would you rather A, fight Mike Tyson, or B, sound like him for the rest of your life?
Nah, I think I can spin that voice. So yeah, I don't want to fight that motherfucker. Fuck, even at his age. I saw him. I mean, we were talking about. I didn't watch any of it, so I don't know how serious they took it. But it was like a charity fight, wasn't it? So like they weren't really fucking like he didn't pound. He would have fucking killed Roy Jones, right? I'm just.
It was 8 2-minute rounds, so 2/3 of the normal.
Yeah.
Round time. He was getting in at some point. I didn't think he understood that it was a charity event, but he was getting in. Jones did a great job of tying up. He didn't win the fight. It was a draw, but what's that?
Did you watch it?
I've watched the highlights.
Okay, I watched the whole thing. Thankfully, this was so beautiful. I was looking just for updates on Twitter, and somebody had it playing on their laptop while they showed it from a live feed on their phone. So their phone was pointed at their laptop, and I watched the whole thing like that. Tyson could still fight a top 15 heavyweight. Maybe nothing below 15, but he could definitely go toe-to-toe with somebody in that 15. What are you doing? What are you doing? I see the side of the eye bullshit. What are you doing?
This is like your It's like your Harlem Globetrotter.
No, it's not.
Theory about them beating an NBA team. No, he can't beat a top 15 heavyweight in the world. No shot.
Yes, he could. I'm telling you, man. He held back against Roy Jones because Roy Jones sounded like there was a freight train trying to escape his esophagus after the second round. And Tyson actually, for once in his life, showed humanity and did not beat the piss out of him because he could have lit that son of a bitch up. And the only reason Roy Jones was tying up Tyson is because Tyson was letting him tie him up because it was an exhibition. Tyson is still capable of going 6 solid rounds with a top 15 heavyweight. I'm just saying. The hell, honestly, though.
What happened? Do you know what happened in his last 2 fights? As a professional?
Yes. He was a fucking head case, though. I think his head is in a better place.
Okay.
It's high on marijuana, and it's put him in a better zone. But Alan, you say you can spin the voice because again, would you rather fight Mike Tyson once or sound like him for the rest of your life? But you wouldn't just go one fight, win or lose, and then you don't have to sound like Mike Tyson for the rest of your days?
No, because he could fucking kill me. Like, just by accident. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I feel like it would just be unceremonious. Like, I would rather he, like, break my jaw and, like, break my neck or something, but he'd, like, fucking hit me in the gut and I'd, like, fucking shit myself on the inside and die of sepsis. Like, it would just be fucking unglamorous as fuck. Yeah, nope, nope. I'm good. I will talk like him. I'm a wordsmith. I'm fairly certain I'll just figure it out.
I'm a wordsmith.
Okay, exactly.
So is it the same parameters as what we saw or what some of us witnessed on Saturday night? 8 2-minute rounds and it's an exhibition?
Well, I mean, considering that Roy Jones Jr.
And by the way, I want to say you sat there and you talked about what he did to Roy Jones Jr., a former light heavyweight who's also 51 years old, who hasn't fought in a couple of years and is probably past his prime longer than Tyson. You know what he did to Roy Jones? Okay, all right, fair enough. Good, go on.
So you have to fight Tyson. We'll give you the same parameters, but the facade of exhibition is off. It's a sanctioned fight, and look, it's like I said, it doesn't mean it's a long fight.
Yeah,
but it's kind of like the rip the Band-Aid off or tear it off slowly. Could you tear off the Mike Tyson Band-Aid slowly by sounding like him for the rest of your days?
No, I tell you what, I think I'll go 8 2-minute rounds with the former champ, and here's why. Because one, sounding like him isn't going to make me any money. Fighting him is going to make me some money. And two, I think even if I get knocked out, I'm not going to get killed. I might lose a few brain cells. I might up my risk of CTE by 1%. But I think I weigh 210. I think I could bulk up to about 220 given the right circumstances. I'm not saying I could do any harm to him, but I could get to a physical fitness level to at least somewhat protect myself. Dance around a little bit, throw a low blow, taunt a little bit, do a little chicken swivel. If I can make a cool meal, fight that fucker. If you don't, you're always famous. You'll be on YouTube. At least you'll be a YouTube celebrity. I could boost this fucking podcast up to a point where we can make some money.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't do any worse than the guy who fought Jake Paul and got the shit out. What was that guy?
Nate Robinson. Yeah, that's so bad. So bad.
Oh, that poor son of a bitch. That showed me what the slightest bit of training, the kind of edge, the most limited training can get you in a fight with parameters, like a boxing match. Like Jake Paul learned how to box over the last 6 months.
Yeah,
he just kicked the shit out of a guy.
Here's the thing about that. The previous 3 fights were actually professional boxers, okay, who were it was a promoted, sanctioned event for those 6 individuals, and they got paid accordingly. The Nate Robinson thing was a celebrity thing. I think they got paid, but it wasn't a sanctioned boxing match. How do you think you feel if 6 other professionals are saying that they are the card for a celebrity boxing match and 2 retired champions in an exhibition?
Well, I'd say that apparently you haven't impressed enough people to get yourself into the mainstream in the sport that you made your profession, where and a former NBA guy and a YouTube star, if they're selling the ticket, then you should be thanking them.
Yeah, sure.
I'd be like, I mean, as a lifelong boxing fan too, this will hurt me to say, but I'd probably look at the undercard in this case and be like, hey, professional boxers, this was probably a bad career decision. I'm just saying.
Y'all ain't doing it.
Hey, more power to you, but fucking, yeah, boxing's dead. So, sorry.
There's a good boxing match this Saturday.
I would say
there's still a couple.
There's one this Saturday. Errol Spence is fighting Danny Garcia. I don't know. I wouldn't pay pay-per-view to watch it unless you're a big boxing fan.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that might be Alan's point, if I don't want to put words in his mouth, is that boxing is so bad that you don't even know who the top named fighters are in what used to be the sport of kings.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad that I know who Jake Paul is, and I can only name probably 3 other professional heavyweights.
And that's a shame because the guy who's fighting this Saturday, in my opinion, is top 3 pound for pound. The best welterweight in the world.
But back to the question, I would fight Mike Tyson, so I didn't have to sound like him for the rest of my life. Although after fighting Mike Tyson, I might consequentially sound like him for the rest of my life. But I would like to see how I would. Obviously, there's 0 chance of me winning. Like, you were at least like pound for pound, like the same. I won't say the same build, but he weighs like 210, 215. Mm-hmm. You said you weigh 210.
Yeah.
And just like the difference in human skill and ferociousness that would exist in that small frame of time would just be mesmerizing.
I was going to say, can we pause for a second and just... Wes, in one sentence, was like, Murr, you're fucking outrageous. He couldn't compete with a top 15 heavyweight. But then turned around and was like, I got 8 rounds, 2 minutes. Fucking against Mike Tyson. No, the fuck you don't, sir. I am sorry.
51-year-old guy. I could probably like foul off a couple Greg Maddux change-ups now.
Yeah, well, Greg Maddux changeup was like 75. I fucking hope so. That's fast at the batting cage.
You asked me what I wanted to do. I told you what I wanted to do. Mike Tyson can't compete with the top 15 heavyweight in the world right now, but I could get about a round and a half in with him. 2 minutes.
No, you wouldn't last the round.
Single?
You wouldn't last the round.
You take a fucking liver shot and it's a wrap.
It's probably right. Yeah, the liver. It had to be no. Well, yeah. He
like you wouldn't even know where to block on your body. Like from forehead to like groin, you wouldn't know where to put either of your two hands to stop whatever was coming your way.
I don't want to sound like him for the rest of my life. All right, I'm gonna fight him one time, make a lot of money.
No, and I agree with you on that point, but the length of time you expect to stand in front of him is our only point of contention here.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be 2 minutes of any round.
Tyson voiceover work for the rest of your life.
You heard me. I had a great one time. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got a good Tyson.
All
right. Well, moving on to question number 2. Wes, if you'd like, you can answer this entire question in the voice of Mike Tyson.
Yeah, come on, give it to me.
Would you rather, Wes? Would you rather win a World Cup in a soccer-crazy country, or win any U.S. sports title? What's more important to you?
Man, I think. I mean, I was with the champ, so I mean, I think that would be perfect for me. Just do it again. Beat the shit out of West in 60 seconds.
Okay, stop that now, please,
yeah.
Dear God.
I mean, to me, ultimately, the goal is always, or not the goal. It wouldn't be my goal. The ultimate in sports championship celebration would be the Orioles winning the World Series. But man, to be you say what's the alternative to be a champion from in a foreign country, the World Cup?
Yeah, well, you either A, win a World Cup in a soccer crazy country, or so like let's say like you're on the Brazilian national team and you guys win the World Cup, or B, win any of your choice U.S. sports title.
Man, I'm going to say by a nose, I'm on the team for the Baltimore Orioles winning the World Series. That being said, man, we had that talk about Maradona last week. We understand. We're all soccer fans. We all understand the sport. Taking a championship back to a Germany, an Italy, a Spain. Of course, if you were on an England national team and took that fucker World Cup back, yeah, you could party for 4 more years. No one would give a fuck. You do anything you ever wanted. Man, I'll opt for the Orioles, but Jesus Christ, man. It hurts to say that.
That's a really tough.
It hurts to say that. Man. I think I'm missing out on a really good opportunity to be a national hero.
Well, Alan, before we get to you, hold on though, Wes. I want to ask you about this though. So, I mean, that's a total homer answer, which I respect. Because like if you were on the Yankees and you won a World Series, like you probably just wrote your meal ticket for the rest of your life. But to be on the Orioles and win a World Series, I still feel like people are going to say, who? When we said your name, even with a World Series title in your back pocket. Like, is that just a pure homer answer? Like,
sure, 100%. I mean, it's my favorite sports team of all time.
Okay.
And when they win a World Series, you're gonna find me Edgar Allan Poe style in an alley, drunk.
Oh yeah,
dead.
I'm dying that day. That's the day.
I won't find you. I'll be with you.
That's right.
Alan, what do you got? Win a World Cup in a soccer crazy country, or win any U.S. sports title?
Yeah, I mean, I would have if West didn't take the Orioles. I probably would have taken that one. But yeah, I'll go World Cup because that shit would be like he said, like England. God, dude, England made it to a quarter or a semi? last time or
semi
quarter?
They lost to
semi
Croatia
last time.
Yeah,
and their manager still has his fucking job, and he shouldn't.
And here's
imagine if he won it. Like,
I'm friends with a person who was was living in France. Well, she is French, but was living in France. And was 19 when they won the '98 World Cup, and she was like, "Oh my god, it was a party for 2 months." She wasn't even on the fucking team. She's just a commoner chilling in France.
In France. Yeah, so I think that would be that would be absolutely insane. And like you said, those are the kinds of things where, like, maybe not so much in like Germany because they've won a bunch at this point, and like, I don't know, they're just reserved.
Think about Ireland. You have Ireland won a World Cup, and you were the star or a role player.
Yeah, or at this point, like, I mean, like if an Italy took one back sometime soon, or
I got an idea.
Or if you happen to see Portugal nab their first,
say you're
lose their minds.
Yeah, say you're an American citizen, but you find citizenship in Japan, and bring them to World Cup glory. Boy, the perks of that.
Yeah, that would be insane.
Well, 100%, because like you would be you'd be like world renowned in 2 nationalities, because you could just sell your soul to the corporate devil here in the US, and then you could just be like part of like the social zeitgeist every time you went to Japan. You wouldn't have to pay for anything ever in that scenario.
I was thinking about having, our looks, which are extravagant, by the way, and having the little Asian honey is I know what
I know what you mean.
It didn't make it less creepy.
It was as creepy as I wanted it to be, too. See, here's where my patriotism gets in the way here, because if I was to win a World Cup, I would want to win it for the U.S., but I know that the U.S. wouldn't give a shit. Like, wait, hold on. I know, Alan, I know. I was at a bar in Delaware watching it when, we lose to Germany last time? Was that and everybody in Delaware was a fucking U.S. soccer fan for about a week, and then that went away unequivocally. Even to this point, I don't even think people now in America, or at least in Delaware and Maryland, know what a soccer ball is anymore. It would just mean nothing. It would be a glorious, 3-week run. You'd probably do a couple of the late night talk shows, and then that would be it. Because I wouldn't want to win one for another country. So, and then I'm thinking, you guys have already kind of dabbled in the Orioles winning, which of course I'd want that to happen, and I'd want to be a part of it. But I'm trying to figure out my best payday. So maybe I actually need your help. What's the most celebrated solo title in the U.S.? Golf, maybe? If I won like a Masters?
Yeah, that's a lot of
money.
Just notoriety. So like moving forward, I'd never have to win anything ever again.
The problem, I mean, it's so weird for me to say this. I think, in my opinion, it would be the 100 meters. The fastest man in the world. If you brought it back to America after the Jamaicans have been fucking killing it for the last 12 years.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty good one.
Actually, that would be great, because you've got a short shelf life in that game any which way, and then to have a 5'6" white boy from America bring home the world's fastest man, dude. Just whatever Wheaties fucking contracted me out for would probably set me up for life in high school. So I'll take that. I'll win but that's not really a US. That's not really a U.S. sports title though. That's a global sports title. So I don't really think that factors in, because there's been a lot of guys like Americans that have like won the the U.S. Sprinter crown that went on to take a respectable fifth.
But the PGA thing is a lot of. I mean, you have a foreign crowd. That's where I was going with that. But just singles, I don't know. I mean, it's not tennis, it's not golf, it's not rowing. It might be the champ. It might have to be the champ.
The heavyweight
championship of the world, and you would be the first lightweight that would do it.
I'm moving up to heavyweight, Wes. I'm taking on all comers.
Beautiful.
Just shock your will, baby. All right, and our final question tonight in 3 and Out, and actually you can find this question up on our Facebook page. If you have not liked and followed us yet, please do so on Facebook under The Middle Class Holes, and it reads as such. What would be the coolest animal to scale up to the size of a horse? And Alan, we will start with you with this question. I'll go through some of the comments real quick to kind of maybe get your brain moving. Josh says a chameleon would be cool. Ryan says an ant. Josh says my dachshund, or I don't know what the cabrea is. That like a rodent, like a giant rodent?
Capybara?
The capybara?
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I think it's like a cute giant hamster looking thing.
Capybara.
Capybara. Yeah. They're like giant rodents.
Cleavon says scorpion. Actually, he doesn't say scorpion. He just says scorpion are badass. I agree with you, Cleavon.
I mean, Cleavon's not wrong.
Cleavon's our boy, man.
And Veronica says a chipmunk. And Alan, what say you?
A chipmunk? The fuck are you gonna do with the horse?
So it can sing to you in a quartet.
Whoever wrote that, I'm gonna need more info on the page, please, because I don't get that. Sizing up to a horse. I mean, instinctively, platypus comes to mind because why the fuck not? Then they start getting to like. I like the ant idea, but can I control it, or is it just a fucking, does it have free will? Because then I'm kind of fucked.
Well, here's my theory on that, because I think that's a pertinent question. I think horses are only smart because they're big. And because they're big, they have a bigger head. And because they have a bigger head, they have a bigger brain. And a bigger brain allows for better thinking, trainability, and all that stuff. So I would say whatever animal you're sizing up, I would say that their brain, the brain would be larger. Therefore, they would be more controllable. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this caveat in there that though they are potentially a wild animal, that they're trainable to their species, to their whatever you call it, whatever the family.
I think it's the phylum. I think it's the phylum.
That's what I was going to go with, but I thought that was wrong. Yes, they're trainable to their brain size phylum. So an ant, even if you scale it up to the size of a horse, I don't even think they have like functional brain activity. I think it's just all like utilitarian, like pheromone. Like,
and remember, Murr had said it. If you could talk to an animal and you could talk to a squirrel, like, want some nuts? Got some nuts. Want some nuts? Nuts? Got some nuts? Got nuts? Think about that. Don't forget about that.
No, that's tough. It would be a difficult communication barrier. No, I very much understand. So I.
So good. Oh God.
If I were to size up an animal to a horse, I'm just gonna. I haven't even mentioned it yet, but I'm gonna go out left field here, and I think that a horse-sized beaver might be useful, for a number of different reasons.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, at that size, he's a formidable fucking protective pet. If I have some sort of control over him. So I mean, nobody's fucking with a horse-sized beaver. Let's be real. And then he would obviously churn out a lot of production for me. I think he could clear cut forests at that size in a pretty rapid time. I could use those to build my own home. Maybe have him fashion me a dam. I don't know. At that size, it's probably livable for a human. I'm just thinking out loud here. Yeah, wood for burning, wood for selling, wood for lots of stuff. Yeah,
we got it. Very
Woodford Reserve.
Well, I mean, he's a beaver, so come on. But I could use all that. So beaver, horse-sized beaver.
Okay.
I would take that.
I don't disagree. As soon as you said beaver, I was like, holy shit, I'm going to move to the upper northwest, and every asshole who's spending like $10,000 a day on diesel fuel, I'm just going to laugh at, because they're self-sustainable. Like, they cut down the tree, they eat the wood, I feed them nothing, and I reap all the benefits. That's a brilliant answer, Alan. Wes, what would you like to size up to the horse?
Well, just to be clear, they buff the wood. They don't clean the wood. They buff it. So,
but they fall the wood.
That's a Pauly Shore quote, by the way.
Oh, sorry, you have to do it in the Pauly Shore voice, or
buff the wood. Buff the wood. Okay, I have a 1 and a 1A. Initially, I thought bald eagle, fly, like carry you around. Just fly you wherever you need to go. Now that's assuming you can. You have eagle talk. You could go people pop 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 people pop. You give it coordinates, and then it flies to where you want to go. Or maybe once you saddle up and fly off, then you're at this fucking bald eagle's mercy of where it wants to go. It's like Perryville, goes somewhere else.
I don't hate your bird answer, but I think you picked the wrong bird, because an apex predator that is, I mean, it's a raptor. Like, they don't give a shit about what you're saying to it. However, if you're using it for transportation, and I know it sounds stupid, but if you went with pigeon, because of their honing capabilities, and they're able to, you can like wrap a pigeon up in a bag, throw it off a bridge, but it'll still know where it came from and fly back. I've tried.
But this thing can only fly for like 45 seconds. Didn't you want something that's got some sustainability?
What? You've never heard of carrier pigeons?
I thought that was just like a figure of speech.
No, that
was a legitimate method of fucking communication
for centuries. Like, that was the original text message, man. Was carrier pigeon.
It's a different kingdom of pigeon, right?
We have a fraternity brother actually that had a neighbor who had, I guess, carrier pigeons. Now, he didn't use them to send messages to people because nobody actually received them, but he would literally send them on excursions and have them come back and shit. It was kind of weird. I don't know how he did it, but he tracked them and shit. So yeah,
Jesus.
That's the thing.
Well, the other thing I was going to say was, if I could find some sort of bird that could, apparently a carrier pigeon will do what I initially intended for. A human-sized horse, something that's strong as shit. I don't know what you do with it. I don't know if it runs for president. I don't know if it's king of the world. I don't know if it just drops monoliths in weird places around the globe. But yeah, some huge fucker, some massive 8-foot thing, just stampeding around, bobcat gold waiting around fucking every little village you know of. Amazing.
So not only do you want a human the size of a horse, you would also like to enslave him.
Well, if he was willing to, consensually. I don't know. I mean,
consensual slavery.
More like indentured servitude, not slavery.
I don't know. Or listen, maybe he fucking drives a greyhound. I don't know what
like a bus or the actual animal.
I was going to say he's a pro wrestler. I mean, Christ, those things. You know,
the Big Show. How big's the Big Show? Is he he's about the size of a horse, isn't he?
A little over 7 foot. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
Or Shaq? I mean, I feel like we almost have those. So it's not even outside the realm of possibility.
We have horse-sized humans right now. Sorry. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Damn.
No, I do like your bird answer. I was going to go with a bird. The honing pigeon kind of just came to mind off of you. But you guys were mocking the chipmunk. I was gonna go with squirrel. I have a fascination with squirrels. Their agility, their ability to play with nuts. Ooh, yeah.
You got some nuts? Got some nuts? Got some nuts? Got some nuts? Got some nuts?
And I think if you were able to train a squirrel, kind of similar. See, here's the thing, Alan. It's similar to your beaver scenario because squirrels have that same kind of utilitarian ability to like gnaw through things. But like I said, they're very agile. I mean, imagine like a squirrel, like Pimlico, taking on like other horses and how quick it could be. It could actually like take out the other horses and then continue on the race and still win, and then climb the fucking spire and then dive down on everyone, and I would rule the world.
Right, because the sanctioning bodies of these horse races would allow a squirrel to join in. That makes sense. That's beautiful.
But at that point, they'd have no choice because I'd be the ruler of Pimlico at that moment in time.
Pimlico is no longer a 3-year-old horse race. It's a squirrel race, folks. Good night. Bob Baffert. Sorry. See the exit over there. Good night.
Grow your own, and I'll see you next year. And that, my friends, is 3 and Out.
Oh, all right. Well, where can we find us? The Middle Class Holes? It's Apple Podcasts, right?
Correct.
Is it Apple Podcasts? Did we talk? Oh, this is the thing we talked about, right? It's fucking iTunes. I don't give a shit.
Listen, let me tell you something. If you are an Apple owner, you know where to find it on Apple Podcast. You don't have to go over. It's not iTunes. You go to your app store. You literally download podcasts from Apple, and then you find your podcasts.
If you're an Apple owner, Steve Jobs from the grave tells you where to find your podcasts. Don't think about it too much.
If you're an Apple owner, there are horse-sized beavers that are going to come by and eat those fuckers.
Yes, let's insult 50% of all the technology users on planet Earth. Let's do that. That's a wise decision, gentlemen. Good job.
They're so easily insultable, though.
Chris, we mock anyone who speaks Mandarin, who talks in an English accent every day. It's like 1 in every 7 people, right?
That's very true, actually.
I believe so.
I don't do it daily. I'm just kidding.
Anyway, Apple Podcasts, whatever the hell that is, iTunes. For you Apple fucking weirdos out there, get your podcasts on iTunes Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter at MDL Classholes, and on Facebook at the Middle Class Holes.
Alan, I apologize. The Dracula dick just got one tooth. Can your wife fix that?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, I think I don't know if you guys have glue, but
I gotta find the tooth.
That's probably what my wife's gonna do if you bring it back here. So I just save you a step, but you can bring it on down to the workshop. We'll get that penis touched right up for you.
Bob, deal that up.
Penis touch-ups are our specialty here. or look, Bob, you could do this. Look, I'm coming up with this off the top of my head. You can mock me if you like. Right. Get a hot glue gun, make a little like Hershey Kiss dab, and then hit it with some white out and put it right back on there.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll recoup. I'll get my penis back together. I'll tell you guys how it feels next week.
Does Sarah know about it yet?
Yeah, she was the one who pointed it out. She was like, "How the hell did this penis vampire lose a tooth?" It's good.
That is a fair question, because how did the penis vampire lose a tooth? Like, who was jostling around the vampire penis?
I don't know. Not me. Nope.
Because I would assume if the penis vampire's tooth just happened to fall off, it's probably within 3.5 millimeters of where the penis vampire was sitting.
Not here.
Otherwise, It's somewhere that it shouldn't be, and you're probably not getting that back until a hearty meal.
You're better off finding the Monolith distributors than figuring out who lost Dick Vampire's tooth. Dick Van Dyke Pyre's tooth.
I think you just committed a hate crime.
I think you did.
Sorry, Elliot Page. All right. Good night, boys and girls. And night.